Thank you so much for coming to the miracle work today. and I actually want to start off immediately with today's lesson, which is the Into His Presence Would I Enter Now lesson. And I'm just reading and saying paragraph to, you'll see what happens, because it's very comforting and very quieting and so beautiful. So that's what I'm gonna do. So stay right here and listen. Into His presence would I enter now. This is a day of silence and of trust. It is a special time of promise in your calendar of days. It's a time heaven has set apart to shine upon and cast a timeless light upon this day, when echoes of eternity are heard. This day is holy, for it ushers in a new experience, a different kind of feeling and of awareness. You have spent long days and nights in celebrating death, and today you learn to feel the joy of life. So repeating this just one more time, because it's such a great start of your day. This is a day of silence and of trust. It is a special time of promise in your calendar of days. It is a time heaven has set apart to shine upon and cast a timeless light upon this day, when echoes of eternity are heard. This day is holy, for it ushers in a new experience. It ushers in a new experience, a different kind of feeling and awareness. You've spent long days and nights in celebrating death, and today you learn to feel the joy of life. This is a day of silence and of trust. It is a special time of promise in your calendar of days. It is a time heaven has set apart to shine upon and cast a timeless light upon this day, when echoes of eternity are heard. This day is holy, for it ushers in a new experience, a different kind of feeling and awareness. You have spent long days and nights in celebrating death. Today you learn to feel the joy of life. Today it will be given you to feel a touch of heaven, though you will return to paths of learning. Yet you have come far enough along the way to alter time sufficiently to rise above its laws and walk into eternity a while. This you will learn to do increasingly, as every lesson, faithfully rehearsed, brings you more swiftly to this holy place and leaves you for a moment to yourself. I'll repeat this one more time too, it's so beautiful. Today it will be given you to feel a touch of heaven, though you will return to paths of learning. Yet you have come far enough along the way to alter time sufficiently to rise above its laws and walk into eternity a while. This you will learn to do increasingly, as every lesson, faithfully rehearsed, brings you more swiftly to this holy place and leaves you for a moment to yourself. From this day forth, your ministry takes on a genuine devotion, and the glow that travels from your fingertips to those you touch and blesses those you look upon. A vision reaches everyone you meet and everyone you think of or who thinks of you. For your experience today will so transform your mind that it becomes the touchstone for the holy thoughts of God. Your body will be sanctified today. Its only purpose bring the vision of what you experienced this day to light the world. We cannot give experience like this directly, yet it leaves a vision in your eyes which we can offer everyone, that he may come the sooner to the same experience in which the world is quietly forgot and heaven is remembered for a while. Into Christ's presence will we enter now, serenely unaware of everything except his shining face and perfect love. The vision of his face will stay with you, but there will be an instant which transcends all vision, even this, the holiest. This you will never teach, for you attend it not through learning. Yet the vision speaks of your remembrance of what you knew that instant and will surely know again. Today we will embark upon a course you have not dreamed of, but the Holy One, the giver of the happy dreams of life, translator of perception into truth, the holy guide to heaven given you, has dreamed for you this journey, which you make and start today. With the experience this day holds out to you to be your own. Into Christ's presence will we enter now, serenely unaware of everything except his shining face and perfect love. The vision of his face will stay with you, but there will be an instant which transcends all vision, even this, the holiest. This you will never teach, for you attained it not through learning. Yet the vision speaks of your remembrance of what you knew that instant, and will surely know again. Into his presence would I enter now. So this is our lesson of today. You know, it's like that's so amazing. All right, so it started with this. It's like this is a day of silence and of trust. So that's gonna return to you today for sure. Like this is a day of silence and of trust, a special time of promise in your calendar of days, a time that heaven has set apart to shine upon. It's like if you do this as in the sense of becoming quiet, becoming still during the day, having moments where this occurs today, you and go within, you know, making at least say directing your attention to your inner connection, something happens. It's like it's so beautiful. So something happens. So and wherever you are, you're always allowed to do that. You don't have to behave any, because there is literally nothing outside of you. So the beauty of this is then it's always it's only by your own say decision that you do this, And I mean by that, it's like you can do this everywhere that you go. Like it doesn't matter where you find yourself. It can be in your house, it can be in your room, it can be in company, it can be any, you know, at your workplace. For just a moment, do this. Allow this to happen to you. Just not forgetting, like it's a day of silence and of trust, like it's going to be given to me. I'm opening myself up to that regularly today, just to have a different kind of experience today, and feel some of that heaven, of that light that heaven has cast upon this day. I want to be part of that. I want to feel that. So it's like that takes care of everything, every concern that you have, and all of this, because it's like you actually do what you are. So that feels very natural to do that, and it sets everything right in place. That is so beautiful. So yeah, we practice that. We will be quiet moments too through this meeting. So this is the actual lesson of today. This one and the next one and the next one are really also my favorites. I love this one too. I'll put my book here. It's like I love this too, because it's whenever you read it, it's always calming. It's always reassuring. It's always bringing you to yourself. Like, oh yeah, wait a minute, I can just connect. You know, no matter what seems to be going on, I can always connect, and that's where my salvation is, not anywhere else. So I love that as a practice. And of course, I mean, you recognize this, you know this too. I'm just sharing this. So today I also want to take a look at this chapter 18, Light in the Dream, since we're actually talking about giving that to yourself. You know, you give that to yourself. So that's also tomorrow's lesson. It's like, I give what I receive. You know, it's like I can only give to myself, in fact, is the principle. I can only give to myself. But what do I bring in to my dream? So now we're on, say, the path of light. We bring light into this dream. And in chapter 18, there's a specific section that is all about that. And I would love to share that with you, because it's just lovely. Light in the dream. So I got my neon lights out today. Light in the dream. It's for me fun to do it this way. I don't know if you like it or not, but it's one way to express it. So here is my little diary for today with text and all this. Let's see if I can make this a little smaller. Yeah. So we're just reading through it, and if I feel that I want to add something to that, I'll definitely do that. The light in you, the light is in you. Here's the great thing. Darkness can cover it, but it cannot put it out. And this is something that you've tried, you know, in your first attempts to be separate from God. You tried to cover yourself in darkness and thinking that you could do that totally, but that was not possible. So the light in you is in you. Darkness can cover it, but it cannot put it out. See, and darkness can cover it. It's only happening in your, say, limited consciousness, because in truth, of course, there is no such thing as darkness. So this is happening in your human mind. You think that the light can disappear, and that everything can turn dark, and say everything becomes limited and imprisonment and all this. But the light is in you. So you can never lose it, in other words, too. It's like you can never lose it. But you will advance because your goal is the advance from fear to truth, right? You will advance because your goal is the advance from fear to truth. And you know this. You know that you cannot stay in fear forever. You know that you're going to, say, come into the light of truth. You know this. So in the times when you are afraid, you have stepped back. So you have stepped back. You were afraid, and you say contracted. But here's the other possibility. Let us then join quickly in an instant of light, and it will be enough to remind you that your goal is light. See, it goes continuously about the goal, like what goal are you having in front of your eyes, so to speak? What point do you have at the horizon? Let us then join quickly in an instant of light, just like we practiced in the lesson. Into his presence would I enter now. I'm taking a moment to join quickly in an instant of light. And that will be sufficient to remind me that my goal is light. It's like that stirs up, like that enhances, or it enhances the flame that is burning in you, the light that is burning in you. Your goal is light. If you knew who walks beside you on this way, which you have chosen, fear would be impossible. Like, you're not doing this by yourself, even though you might have the idea that you do, but you're actually not doing that by yourself. So this is another comforting idea. Like, if you are afraid, just join for a moment in the light. Into his presence would I enter now. Like, bring that back into your awareness. And then at the same time, well, his presence is with you. His presence is with you. If you knew who walks beside you on this way, which you have chosen, this way you have chosen, fear would be impossible. Like, you have no idea who is walking with you. Like, you're never alone on this path. And you might have a total idea that it is so, but you can definitely have a different experience at the same time. You go toward love, still hating it, and terribly afraid of its judgment upon you. And you do not realize that you are not afraid of love, but only of what you made of it. And you say, like, well, I'm not afraid of love. And it's like, well, we'll see about that. So you go toward love, still hating it and terribly afraid of its judgment upon you. And you do not realize that you are not afraid of love, but only what you made of it. So this you see coming back into your relationships, or to the ones that you meet. It's like, I'm not trying to talk you into that you're afraid of a relationship or afraid of your brother or whatever. It is just, you can be afraid of love, you know. You can be afraid of, say, the dissolving into each other, in the sense of joining in light, loving completely, giving your heart completely, opening your heart totally, in recognition of your oneness with each other. Like, we have, in human terms, like, we have made something out of that, as if it has to do with certain rules or certain specific characters in our dream, you know, like special characters in our dream, just like we were talking about yesterday. the special relationship, the special ones in your life. So it's like you're not allowed to love others, otherwise there's a conflict. It's just, this is what you made of the idea of love, or thinking that your dependency on others is what love is, or thinking that if you adapt yourself to the other, sacrifice your authenticity, is love. These are all old ideas about love that need to be changed, of course, that you will be confronted with. Because, in fact, the only thing that you feel is that you isolate more, or that you feel separate in the moment that you actually had an opportunity to completely, say, bind with someone, to literally join as one. So this is the practice of the holy instant, really. It's like, this is the practice of miracles. Miracle, in experiencing the miracle, you in fact open up your heart for your brother in recognition of your oneness in God. And that is the occurrence, and that's being, say, reinforced, or that is literally given to you in the moment that you're open to it. But why you're not experiencing miracles, you could say. It's like, why am I not experiencing miracles? And what has always to do with that you, in fact, step on the brake. It's like, wait a minute, I don't want to lose myself in this moment. I want to stay in control, or I want to do this or that, or I'm not allowed to do that. I cannot do that. See, and this is what is being expressed here as, it is not that you're not afraid of love, but you're afraid of what you made of love, what you define as love. So in order to come to your, say, natural flow of self-expression, literally, like in every aspect of it, you cannot do that by stepping on a brake. I'm just using that as a metaphor. Like, you cannot do that by holding yourself back. Why would you want to do that? And so that's really something to practice. It really is. It's like this is an essential part in the practice that we do. Because if it occurs, if you allow yourself to enter into the love for your brother in recognition of your oneness in God, I always say those two together, because it is really, if you do this, then you also see, it's like you feel the confirmation that heaven is shining upon this moment. Like, it really takes you out of the definition of yourself. So are you willing to give up the definition of yourself? Would then be the right question. Are you willing to give that up, despite of how it looks, or to whom you are expressing it, with whom you are sharing it? Are you willing to do that? See, and now you might feel a bit of hesitation. It's like, I'm not sure if I can do that, or that it has to be that way. I don't know if it works like that. Like, well, you find out. You find out. And either way, it's perfectly all right. No problem. You will come to it anyway, slowly but certainly. But see, the recognition that you're not doing this by yourself, but that you have great help. Like, you're not walking alone. No, who walks with me? It's like, you can ask that. There's nothing to be afraid of. You will see. You just have to take that one step inside yourself, in which you allow yourself to open up. So you get help with that too. So you go toward love, still hating it in the sense of you're a bit afraid of a judgment that will come to you by you giving yourself to love completely. You still think that something will tell you that you're not allowed to do that, or that you're, say, going over a certain border. In fact, getting into a guilt idea. So the only fear that you can have about this is what you made of love. And what you made of love is just, in fact, meaningless. It has no reality. But you cannot see that when you hold on to it. You who hold each other's hand also hold mine. For when you joined each other, you were not alone. Do you believe that I would leave you in the darkness you agreed to leave with me? Okay, that's a question. You who hold each other's hand also hold mine. For when you joined each other, you were not alone. Do you believe that I would leave you in the darkness you agreed to leave with me? And you say like, no, of course not. No, I don't believe that you would leave me in darkness. No, that's not something that Christ would do. But in fact, it's like you confirm that you believe that by thinking that you cannot get out of your, say, darkness experience. So you confirm that when nothing seems to happen, when you still feel totally imprisoned, when you think like, well, I will wait till the next round, then it might happen or something. Like, this is what you confirm. So do you believe that I would leave you in darkness you agreed to leave with me? Like, this might be a belief that you have. But there's no need for it, because you're not there alone, you see. You have accepted God. The holiness of your relationship is established in heaven. So this is what I talked about in terms of the moment that you open up to join with your brother in the light, in the recognition of your oneness in God, is the, say, confirmation that the holiness of your relationship is established in heaven. Like, you will not have a doubt about that. This is your opportunity. This is what heals you, if you want. In your relationship, you have joined with me in bringing heaven to the Son of God, who hid in darkness. In your relationship, you have joined with me in bringing heaven to the Son of God, who hid in darkness. So in your relationship, so this is like, okay, you're on your way. You come to these meetings. You read A Course in Miracles or whatever book you use to come to this experience. Like, you're willing to go for it. In this, you bring light to your brother. You know, you literally are giving that to your brother. In that giving and receiving of your brother, you are receiving it for yourself too. So this is really like the whole idea of giving. In your relationship, you have joined with me in bringing heaven to the Son of God, the Holy Son of God, I wanted to say, who hid in darkness. I hold your hand as surely as you agreed to take each other's. I hold your hand. Like, the Christ is literally holding your hand. Jesus is holding your hand. This is all happening in you. I hold your hand as surely as you agreed to take each other's. You will not separate, for I stand with you and walk with you in your advance to truth. And this can come to you quite sudden. I can tell you that. It's really beautiful. And it can come to you in moments that you might feel a bit like in between all kinds of happenings. I hold your hand as surely as you agreed to take each other's. You will not separate, for I stand with you and walk with you in advance to truth. Okay, so one anecdote that comes to me now is maybe I shared it with you before, but it's so great that I love to share it anyway. Like I was in, I think 2015 or something, I decided to go to Holland to live there again, to be closer to my family and all this, with that idea. And also like, well, Holland is the place where I came from, and I'd love to bring this to Holland too, in one way or the other. And on my journey back, coming from the plane from Chicago to Dublin Airport, Ireland, I had a step over of probably 2 hours. And suddenly I was told to read something, and I started reading. And it was literally like it came from A Course of Love, The Embrace. I've shared it before, but I will share it one day. So it was literally Jesus inviting me to put my head on his shoulder and just letting myself be embraced. Well, while I was reading that, it was an actual occurrence for me to undergo. So it's like I suddenly felt completely home, so newly stepping into a new experience for myself, not knowing where I would go, even though I was on my way to Holland, not knowing what that what that would mean. It was literally as if I was born again. And it took me, I think I cried for an hour or so. I could hardly get to my plane, just because I could not see anything around me anymore. I was so deeply into this experience. But the last thing I expected that would happen happened. You know, it was like, no, I'm with you. No matter where you seem to go, no matter what you think you're doing, no matter, whatever happening is occurring in your life, I stand right here with you. And here you are. So come on, put your head on my shoulder. I'll embrace you. I just cry or release whatever needs to happen. I'm here. I'm right here. You cannot lose that, no matter what seems to be occurring. So that was a truly like a profound experience, in which the whole goal of going somewhere disappeared too at the same time. That's a different story, but it's like I had no idea what to do anymore. It really didn't matter anymore. Whatever I had to do, it didn't matter. I could care less how it would look. It's like it so takes care of you if you allow this to happen to you. So that's my offering in this meeting, you know, that's my offering all the time. But it's like, you're not doing this by yourself. You have great help. Just trust what is given you to read, and go into the experience. Let it completely affect you. Don't be afraid to open your heart so widely. No matter where you are, in the middle of an airport, in the middle of the supermarket, who knows, it doesn't matter. Like, none of these things matter at all. It is just up to you to completely open yourself to the love within, the light within, and share it, and allow yourself that experience, because you're literally entitled to it. It is yours. All right, so that's great. Thank you. It's always great to think about this too. It's like, you will not separate, for I stand with you and walk with you in your advance to truth. My need for you, joined with me in the holy light of your relationship, is your need for salvation. So my need for you, joined with me in the holy light of your relationship is your need for salvation. My need for you is your need for salvation. Would I not give you what you gave me? I love this. My need for you, joined with me in the holy light of your relationship, is your need for salvation. See, the holy light of your relationship. What is that relationship? You know, your relationship with God, your communication with God, your recognition of your source, you joining with your source is your relationship. My need for you, joined with me in the holy light of your relationship, is your need for salvation. Would I not give you what you gave me? Like, we're all in this together. Incredible. Not one light of heaven but goes with you. Not one ray that shines forever in the mind of God but shines on you. Heaven is joined with you in your advance to heaven. When such great light has joined with you to give the little spark of your desire, the power of God Himself, can you remain in darkness? You are coming home together after a long and meaningless journey which you undertook apart and which led nowhere. Not one light in heaven but goes with you. Not one ray that shines forever in the mind of God but shines on you. Heaven is joined with you in your advance to heaven. Heaven is joined with you in your advance to heaven. You are coming home together after a long and meaningless journey which you undertook apart and which led nowhere. So I love this. So oh wait, there's a question. Oh, what's A Course of Love? Oh yeah, that's a great question. So A Course of Love is another book, also 3 volumes. It is another book that came to Mary Perron, like it came down, she wrote it down, just like A Course in Miracles, but it's a whole different, say, energy to read, for instance, and it doesn't have exercises like this, like the Course in Miracles or lessons, but it can help to make the shift, say, to get out of the mental sphere of thinking about what am I doing, what am I thinking, what is a meaningless thought, and all this, to come into your heart, say, easier. It's more focused on the heart expression than on the psychology, the ultra-personal psychology of A Course in Miracles. And there are 3 parts. So the 3rd part, I used this quite a bit in the, say, in the 40 days, because it is a 40-day and 40-night meditation. So there are 40 days mentioned in that, and that is, to me, the most helpful part in the book A Course of Love, because of the all the themes that are being expressed. It will give you great information or great insight in that sense, whenever you're ready for it. And chapter 21 is the embrace, which I shared with you. I can actually read it, why not? chapter, I think chapter 21, 20, chapter 20, the embrace. I got it right here. I'll read it. So it's really beautiful and it fits really well with today's lesson too. So then you hear also the way that is being expressed. The embrace, and you might recognize this, absolutely. Like, listen to this. The embrace. Your longing now has reached a fever pitch, a burning in your heart quite different from that which you felt before. Your heart may even feel as if it is stretching outward, straining heavenward, near to bursting with its desire for union. A desire you do not understand, but can surely feel. This is a call to move now into my embrace and let yourself be comforted. Let the tears fall and the weight of your shoulders rest upon mine. Let me cradle your head against my breast as I stroke your hair and assure you that it will be all right. Release that this is the whole world, the universe. Realize that this is the whole world, the universe, the all of all in whose embrace you literally exist. Feel the gentleness and the love. Drink in the safety and the rest. Close your eyes and begin to see with an imagination that is beyond thoughts and words. You are no longer the object of viewing the subjects of the kingdom. You are the heart of the kingdom. The kingdom's beauty revealed. The beloved child suckled at the breast of the Queen Mother Earth, one child of the one mother, nameless and beyond naming. No I resides here. You have given up the vision of your eyes and the I of your ego. You are loosed of bounds, no longer a thing of beauty, but beauty itself. Thingness is over and your identity no longer stands in form but flows from life itself. Your beauty is the gathering of the atoms, the order in chaos, the silence in solitude, the grace of the cosmos. Our heart is the light of the world. We are one heart. We are one mind. One creative force gathering the atoms, establishing the order, blessing the silence, gracing the cosmos, manifesting the light of the heart. Here we live as one body, experiencing communion, the soul's delight, rather than otherness. It is a seamless world, a tapestry where each thread is vibrant and strong, a canticle where each tone is pure and indivisible. So that's the first page of chapter 20 from A Course of Love. See, it really doesn't matter where it is all open to deeply be experienced. So it really doesn't matter what we use. It is all like coming from, in fact, like from the one voice. Whatever you need, it will be given. You're never alone in this, never separate. So it's like you receive the light in any way that you can. It really does not matter what name it has or where it came from or who knows. Like all these, all these attributes, it doesn't matter. It's the one voice speaking to you. However, it will come to you. You will experience truth. You are successful. You know, it's like you cannot be left separate in your ideas about yourself. It will succeed because you want it and you know it will. That's why you're here. So it was great to read this again. I love it. I love it. It touches my heart all the time. It's like so beautiful. So anyways, that's so lovely. Thank you for inviting that in. And so you see, like, questions are always so helpful because it brings in something. So never hesitate to ask anything, because it's you opening a door. And by you doing that, the light shines for everyone. That's the beauty of this. So nothing is lost whatsoever. It's never a disturbance. So thank you for today. Thank you for being in this miracle work. And just as a reminder, this is a day of silence and of peace. And a day set aside, and say special day in the calendar of days where heaven casts its light upon this day. So, you know, why not? Let it happen today. Let your day fall apart in the sense of whatever I thought I had to plan. Maybe that's not necessary. Maybe there's a whole different way to experience this day. And why not? Just as an experiment with yourself. So thank you so much for everything, and see you before you know it. Thank you.